Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. Before we start, I want to say if you want to join me on my streams, I will be streaming later today. Check out the Good Free Photos channel. That'll be in the description and as well as the first pinned comments in the comments section. I am streaming on my backup channel right now. Also, I have my Crypto Daily Updates channel that'll also be in the description and the comments. And that will encapsulate all the day's great crypto news in one video. So if you want to watch one video for all the day's crypto and financial news, check out the Crypto Daily Update. Now let's get to the topic. Oil is set to crater on Monday, and you know what that means. Stock market going down, down, down when that happens. I think this week's sort of boost was because they were reaching an agreement with oil, but it looks like that's been delayed. They delayed the meeting for between OPEC and Russia. Russia is not a member of OPEC, and tensions between Russia and Saudi Arabia has flared as Vladimir Putin has challenged the king of Saudi Arabia to mortal combat. No, he hasn't, but he might as well because I think there's going to be a lot of tensions between those two countries. Russia's goal is to destroy American shale and maybe like all the tar sands extraction. There are a ton of tar sands and shale oil in the United States, and especially Canada. A lot of Canada is in the tar sands. Same thing with Venezuela. But that's actually a lot more expensive to extract than regular oil. And by pushing the price of oil down, he wants to destroy those industries. And that's what he's actually doing. It looks like they're having a really hard time to come to an actual agreement. So that actually might let oil drop. And because oil is dropping, that means the stock market is also dropping. And also, that might destroy a lot of jobs, especially out in the Dakotas in the United States, and maybe extraction in Canada because they're just not profitable at this point because of the activities there. Shale, I think, is only really profitable above like 60, $70 a barrel. And right now it's at $24 a barrel. Russia can actually keep this going for a very long time. And if they do, those industries are going to be destroyed, pulverized into smithereens, and that's really not good for employment, especially during this time, because these are not like these low-paid jobs. These are not jobs where like, hey, do you want fries with that, dude? No, these are not those kind of jobs. These are actually fairly high-paying jobs that are very, very hard to replace, unless, of course, you're a tech person and you apply at Binance if you're in Asia, South America, or Europe. Binance has some high-paying jobs too, but it's not available in the United States, so that could definitely not be good. There's a lot of workers in this field, and that'll just add to the unemployment rate. And like I said, these jobs are fairly high-paying, so those workers are going to be missing out on a lot of money, and that $1,200 check is not going to be good enough for them. So that is kind of like where we are right now with the oil things. I think the stock market will tank on Monday because of that, unless there's some miraculous agreement over the weekend, which I don't think is actually all that likely. Just don't really think it's going to happen that they're going to achieve something over the weekend. So I think the earliest we can see it is Thursday, and that means Monday they're going to tank because people thought this was all over, and it looks like it's not all over. On the bright side, that means my gas over the weekend is going to be a little cheaper. Now, will this affect Bitcoin? I think it actually will, because the thing is, like, there are people that actually have cryptocurrencies as assets that will probably sell them because, like, they're hunkering down for a longer recession. Now, there is the Bitcoin halving working against that, like I've said, but I think the overall sentiment is going to be strongly anti-investments and pro-cash right now as people try to stock up on some supplies. Now, you had the initial shock, which is over, where people sold Bitcoin maybe to balance out their stock portfolio, but some people might actually just need free-flowing cash, and I'm not really sure if the cryptocurrency market can currently absorb that. Now, we still have a month before the halving, and we know that a bunch of Chinese miners are actually shutting down because they have the older miners that aren't as efficient. So if we only get the newer, more efficient miners up, that means they can actually mine Bitcoin at a cheaper electricity cost, thus lowering the per unit price of Bitcoin's minimum before and after the halving. I don't really know what that price is. I'm gonna guess it's probably $8,000-9,000 after it, depending on how cheap the electricity actually is. Remember, the cheaper the electricity is, the less Bitcoin actually has to be. And countries like Venezuela are actually cheaper in terms of electricity than China. So we might be seeing a little bit of that action. And plus, if people are just liquidating their Bitcoin and liquidating other cryptocurrencies to actually basically save money, save money for a rainy day, that could also be it. So I think the effect on Bitcoin won't be as great as the effect on the stock market, but it will actually be affected because all assets should actually be affected by this. So oil plunge, it might be temporary because the Saudis and Russia might actually come to something. I kind of hope not because I want my oil to be cheaper right now and I can actually ride out the storm. But for those oil workers, for their sake, I hope this actually does work out soon. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.